Hello everybody, my name is Eric Wood and welcome to Aric Talks, a show where I talk about things that are important to me. First on today's docket, I have a tiny tree behind me. Oh, tiny tree, how you balance my soul and my shot. Anyway, in actual news, the United Kingdom is getting a new Prime Minister. David Cameron felt that it would be inappropriate for him to continue as Prime Minister following the Brexit vote, and announced that he would be resigning as soon as a replacement could be picked for him. What was originally looking like a rather contentious and drawn-out leadership contest turned out to be a rather straightforward and business-like process. So meet former Home Secretary and present Prime Minister Theresa May. Theresa May has said she hopes her leadership will represent a brighter future for Great Britain following the Brexit vote. We'll see how that goes. And of course, this is further proof of the Monty Python principle. The British people might do something silly every now and again, but when they do, they'll do it in a proper and business-like way. Next on today's docket is something a little bit more serious. There has been a string of new shootings culminating in Dallas, and it's not good. Needless to say, police officers have the right to be afraid. And needless to say, members of the African American community have the right to be afraid. It's very easy in times like this to get caught up in simple narratives, that there are good guys and there are bad guys, and that the bad guys are hurting the good guys, and just trying to keep within that narrow view. That is not a good idea. There's a complex narrative of real people going through real issues. And so it's important at times like this to stop pointing fingers and actually have a genuine dialogue about the racial tensions and distrust in our community, and how we can move beyond it, and how the police forces within our communities can better protect and serve. Pray for the African American community. Pray for your local officers. You know what? While you're at it, just pray for all humanity. We could use it. Next, Bernie Sanders has endorsed Hillary Clinton. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. We already knew that was going to happen. A lot of people on the internet have been shocked and surprised at this fact, and I acknowledge that Bernie Sanders may be Che Guevara stuck in Doc Brown's body. He is a politician. And more than that, he's a pragmatist. Only reason he's maintained his campaign this long is because by doing so, he has gotten concessions both from the Hillary Clinton campaign and from the Democratic Convention's platform committee. Now that he has gained all the concessions necessary for him to advance his agenda further, there's no reason for him to continue to harm his own party and benefit the Republicans. Now, naturally, this is fantastic news for Hillary Clinton, whose poll numbers have dropped slightly as a result of her email scandal, and it is horrible news for the Republicans, who have been depending on the public image of the Democrats being divided to try to, distract from their own division, like the fact that literally no one is going to the Republican National Convention. To summarize, good news for Bernie Sanders, good news for Hillary Clinton, terrible news for Trump, but good news for America? Maybe? Maybe not. We'll see. Now on to some slightly less political news. Pokemon Go is taking over! In just a few days, there will be more daily users of Pokemon Go than there are daily users of Twitter. Not only that, but a lot of people who were never going outside before are now going outside and exercising willingly for the first time in their life. So, to summarize, you got more users than Twitter, people are exercising for the first time in their lives, and church attendance is up. Wait, what? Church attendance is up because of this? That's right. Church attendance has had a marked increase since the launch of the Pokemon Go app because so many churches are Pokestops and gyms. Some churches have actually been posting signs outside of their doors saying Pokemon trainers welcome. Aw man, you got yourself exercise, you got yourself social interaction, religious values are coming back to America. I am calling it. We have entered a new golden age. And it will be remembered as the age of Pokemon Go, in which the sun always shined, and the women were more beautiful, and the men more brave, and everything was perfect. Hopefully. The big question on everybody's mind, from the people at Nintendo's corporate offices to that one kid who's walking downtown with his phone right now, is whether or not this app has staying power. And the only way we're going to know that is to wait and see. Anyway, with that said, that wraps up the news portion of our show. Now it's time to think deep. Today's show is brought to you by Human Unity. Human Unity! Things aren't going so great for you. Throughout the majority of human history, human unity has been expressed through the creation of larger and more complex civilizations. From small nomadic groups to villages to cities to states to superstates and international institutions. However, lately things haven't been looking too great for states, superstates, and international institutions. As a matter of fact, these things, from a lot of people's perspectives, have started to crumble. And just look at the Korean Peninsula. You have two countries of people who share the same language, same cultural identity, and same heritage, yet they have fundamental differences which keep them from being unified. Or the Middle East in general, for that fact. Or even just look at this very YouTube video. What have we talked about so far? Brexit, how Great Britain no longer wants to be a part of the European Union. And we've talked about how racial tensions here in the United States have hampered our ability to have national unity. Not to mention, we're going through a presidential election that doesn't seem to be very uniting. All these things seem to indicate that human beings are getting more and more divided and less interested in general unity. But just when things seem its darkest, something really stupid comes along and unites us all. Believe it or not, Pokemon Go is an expression of human unity. So many people have this game. So many people are doing the same thing. So many people are enjoying the same basic concepts. Pokemon Go has become one of the many online expressions of human unity. Facebook to Twitter to YouTube to Reddit. All of these different things are human beings wanting to interact with each other and engage in genuine dialogue. And even though there will always be the crazy haters, there are so many people on the internet trying to connect genuinely. This is a form of human unity that has nothing to do with statecraft or the development of bigger and more complex civilizations. Online social interaction is a kind of social interaction that many people might refer to as anarchist, nomadic, barbarian, tribal, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, after all, this is the way humans organize themselves for the majority of human history, and maybe it's the way that we're returning to be organized. The important thing to remember is that as the world becomes more and more globalized, and as supranational institutions such as the United Nations and the European Union begin to play a lesser and lesser role in our everyday lives, it will be easy to see the world as becoming more and more divided and less unified. Whenever you get that feeling, I encourage you to whip out your phone, start playing Pokemon Go, bump into a stranger, maybe start up a conversation. Because at the end of the day, oceans rise, empires fall, but people will always want to be with other people. All right, that about wraps up the show for today. As always, you are a beautiful human being. Try to change the world today, and sincerely yours, Aric Wood.